welcome to the USD 231 Activity Complex. We're on the campus of Gardner, Edgerton High School. And tonight's Hy-Vee High School game of the week. Week 1 of 21 on the Kansas side, and a Sunflower Conference matchup as the two-time defending state champs Mill Valley is at Gardner. And the weather a factor right now, light rain, clouds, but we are going to play some football. Kevin White, Johnny Beck, our entire Spectrum Sports broadcasting crew, bringing you week 1 here in Kansas. And what a season last year, Johnny, for Mill Valley. I mean, they started the season off by destroying Derby. The 6A state champs go on to win their second straight 5A crown. But I think people forget, week 4 of last year, Gardner Edgerton came into Mill Valley and beat them. So what happens tonight?
Well, I think, when you look at Joel Appleby and what he's built over there at Mill Valley, I mean, it's a system. I mean, these guys come in, they're tough, they're physical, they're disciplined. So it doesn't really matter who they put out on the field. They're going to be a tough competition. Last year, Gardner Edgerton got the best of them. Mill Valley's looking to kind of get revenge tonight.
New head coach for the Gardner Edgerton squad in Jesse Owen. And of course, you mentioned Joel Appleby. Let's meet our quarterbacks for tonight as we get to our Hy-Vee player profile. And this guy saw a little time last year. He's a junior, and they say has huge upside. Hayden Jay.
Yeah, and he's got experience from last year. He was 1-1 as a starting quarterback, but he does have that valuable game experience. Obviously, coming into the first game of the year, you'd like for your starting quarterback to have some game experience, so they're going to rely on Hayden Jay today.
And on the other side for GE, quarterback transfers to Colorado. That gives an opportunity for Connor Elder, the junior.
Connor Elder is going to fill some shoes. Asher Weiner last year was a starting quarterback for Gardner. He's a D1 prospect. Connor Elder is a converted running back from last year, so he does know this offense a little bit from that aspect. Obviously a new head coach, so this staff feels like he's the guy that can lead this offense.
Mill Valley on the road taking on Gardner Edgerton. It's the Hy-Vee High School game of the week, and we're back with the opening kickoff. You're watching Spectrum Sports. Coin toss has been held, and Gardner Edgerton won the coin toss and will receive. But right now we have a special announcement, 50 years of officiating for Gary Bramer. Frank Bell, the principal of Gardner Edgerton, and Gail Holder, the principal from Mill Valley, presenting him with an award. He did not know about this, and this is week 1, and that's a bit of a surprise on his face, but a great job. Frank Bell, an official himself, as a basketball official. A lot of appreciation for Gary and what he's done, and congratulations on his 50 years of service.
Yeah, what a great gesture by both principals, honoring such a great accomplishment. 50 years, doesn't matter what you're doing for that, but it's good to have these type of referees officiating these games. And like you said, you could just tell on his face that he was not expecting that, and he took it like a champ. So.
Big crowd here tonight, but umbrellas are out as it's starting to rain here in Gardner. And the fans just going to have to endure the precipitation. We got a lot last night. Woken up several times with the showers, lightning. McClure, the deep man. Kansas football is underway. Off the foot of Ryan Wingard. Turn this time by Lucas Anderson. And it's a decent one. And get our first look at the offense by Gardner Edgerton. And it's a spread option. They'll run it about 80% of the time. Connor Elder, the junior, is the quarterback. Asher Weiner transferred to Valor Christian in Colorado. He's a D1 prospect. And now Connor Elder, who played some running back last year, will be the quarterback du jour. The quarterback run, and a nice run by Connor Elder. A nice gain on first down for the Trailblazers.
We saw the heavy set there to the right side, and Connor Elder, using that running back background, does a good job of making a cut, getting upfield.
Ivy starting lineups, and 3 offensive linemen out with injuries tonight for GE. And also their star running back from last year, and Tyler Butash. And Butash had 700 yards and 6 touchdowns. His little brother will see time along with Jake McClure in the GE backfield, and we've got flags prior to the snap.
Both sides pointing at each other. I think it's going to be a false start.
False start. Offense, number 89, 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
That was the tight end, Bowie.
And you're going to have these first game jitters. These coaches are talking to their kids about, playing smart, disciplined football. You see right there, we have our first little mishap, but these guys are going to have that. They're going to have to come back that next play and make sure to shake it off and keep moving forward.
Second down and 7. Mill Valley plays a 4-2-5 defense. Drew Hudgens is their defensive coordinator in his 11th year. This will be McClure kind of stumbling his way and able to get a nice gain there. Brock Wooster, the Mike linebacker, with the stop. As we take a look at those Jaguars defensively, allowed 15 points per game, 2 shutouts last year. These are the guys up front. Returning is Aiden Schaefer and Cody Moore. They're the most experienced guys up front. New linebackers in there. They'll be tested tonight. And the secondary, pretty experienced, especially with Napoli, the senior back there. On third down and short, Elder not going to get there. Nice play by Fitterer, the cornerback coming up from the secondary. Number 11 for Mill Valley, making a nice stop here. 4th down coming up.
You see the Mill Valley defense doing a good job rallying around the ball. Anytime you're playing against an offense that runs the ball a lot, you're going to have a lot of guys in the box. You just have to stay disciplined to your assignment right there. Fitterer does a good job of staying home, making a play. It looks like, for the time being, Gardner's going to try and go for it here on 4th down.
On their own 38. And maybe they'll try to go with a hard count and then take the timeout. And Mill Valley does not jump, and we'll get a timeout for Gardner Edgerton. Once again, Jesse Owen is the coach, former Olathe North star, and former assistant at Olathe North, Eudora, last year at St. Thomas Aquinas. He was a head coach at Olathe East for 5 years. And, of course, he was a star player at Pittsburgh State as a running back, but it's a tough night for him in that he's the field, Johnny, and see his former coach, Gene Weir, is the offensive line coach for Mill Valley, helping out on the staff for Joel Appleby. And he said, well, it'd be a little more weirder if he was the head coach. I had to stare at him, but it's bad enough that he's the O-line coach, and this is about an hour and a half before the game. And but you'd like to be a fly on the wall, hear what's going on in that huddle between Appleby, Weir, and Owen. Punting unit still not out there. This could be a quick kick, though. No, they'll go on a short side run for a 1st down. It's McClure turning the corner, and Ybarra makes the stop. So they call the timeout. You think the punter's coming out? Nope. They still go for it and convert.
Well, and you like how Coach Owen right there puts faith and confidence in his offense to pick up that 1st down. You get a turnover for downs right there. You give Mill Valley good field position, but trusting his guys up front, trusting his quarterback, picks up about 5 yards, picks up that 1st down, keeps his drive moving.
So they roll the dice, and it works for Gardner Edgerton on their first drive of the game. This time, this play will be stacked up and thrown for a loss. Looked like Cody Moore had the penetration there from the defensive line for Mill Valley.
You see the guy coming in motion. He kind of draws a couple of those linebackers across the field, but we know how good Mill Valley is up front, and those guys are going to stay at home and make a play right there in the backfield.
So Cody's a Division I baseball prospect as a first baseman and catcher. Coach Owen, now 42 years old, has 2 children. And what's interesting is he lives about 2 minutes from here. He lives that subdivision right behind the stadium. He always has. Now a bobbled snap, and ball still loose, and finally covered up by Gardner Edgerton. That's McClure back at the 33-yard line. It's a big loss, as they're going to lose about 10 yards on the bobbled exchange. It's just a little wide that time.
Yeah, and Gardner fortunate to get on that ball right there. Obviously, they don't want to turn the ball over deep in their territory. See a little mishap like that, you got to just make sure you get on the ball. Don't try and do too much. You wonder if that ball, is a little slick out there. They haven't really been able to practice with the wet ball, and you get to your first game, pregame, it starts raining, so these guys are really going to have to take really good care of that ball. Simple quarterback center exchanges.
Third down and a country mile. Elder going to try to run, and Aiden Schaefer with a right shoulder knocks down the quarterback and going to force maybe a punt. As you take a look at the son of Mick Schaefer from 41 Sports. Does he use his arm here? Just kind of a shoulder into him and knocks him down.
Well, these guys up front, they're physical, they're disciplined. This is probably one of their stronger points on this team, and it's going to be hard pressed to consistently run the ball if these guys are doing their job.
And now another bobble, and the punter going to be taken down, and it's going to be near the 15-yard line. Will Schuler dropped it, and then he paid the price. As shooting in there was Dylan Jackson, a defensive back, and the short field now for Mill Valley after I guess the old wet ball cost him again here, Johnny.
And you could see him kind of going to his gloves after. Maybe those gloves are a little slick as well. Like I said, if you haven't practiced with a wet football in a few months, last year maybe is the last time they did it, it's really hard to get used to that. And right there we've seen two plays, and the ball just kind of slips out, and Mill Valley's going to take over. Good field position inside the 20-yard line.
Junior Hayden Jay 1-1 last year, but that one loss was at home to Gardner Edgerton. Reese Kennedy in the backfield, and they'll give it off on an end around, and this will be Jared Napoli, and good pursuit there by the Trailblazers.
Good job setting the edge right there. Kennedy really didn't have a chance to seal him, and that kind of forced that run play a little bit to the sideline. Good open field tackle right there.
Eli Blazik, the junior safety man, made the stop for Gardner Edgerton. Second down and 10. Quarterback read option, and Jay works his way to the 12-yard line. He'll get 5 yards on the play. It'll be third down and 5 as we meet the Jaguars of Mill Valley. These are the guys up front. Nice in there. Steinley out with an elbow injury. The receivers, the most experienced group here in Napoli and Jones and Jacobs, and the transfer from Minnesota at tight end. Third down and 5. Kennedy with running room in space, and quickly stopped on the play, as again it's Blazik again, just whipping him to the turf.
Looks like he's going to pick it up by about a yard.
Let's check your Trailblazers starters. These are the guys up front. Pogue coming back, returning starter along with Carr. Linebacker is going to be tested tonight. Williams, a returning starter at the Mike spot. Secondary kind of inexperienced, but playing well early on. First and goal now for Mill Valley, trying to take advantage of a special teams miscue. And flags down before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, Johnny, when you talk with coaches prior to a week 1 game, it's mistakes, 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 and cramps too. They always throw in the cramps at the end, but we can't have mistakes, penalties, turnovers, miscues.
Both teams right now guilty of one false start penalty, but like I said, as a coach, you're going to expect a couple of those. You just want these guys to clean it up.
And now we're going to get a timeout. Another thing you talk to the coaches about, that week 1 game, there's so much trepidation. They just don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what the weather's going to do. They don't know about the cramping. As you take a look at Gene Weir there talking to his O-line there in the huddle there, the legendary, the Hall of Fame Olathe North coach who won a half dozen state crowns.
Yeah, he's definitely a Kansas City legend in the football coaching rank. Spent a few years at the University of Kansas helping out with their on-campus recruiting. He's a guy that just loves football, and as you can tell, he still loves coaching, not just being a spectator on the sideline.
So it'll be a 2nd down and goal. And the ball outside the 10-yard line. We're seeing, as we're looking at the bench area for Gardner Edgerton, quarterback Connor Elder is being looked at by the trainers, so that's not a good sign. As the quarterback for the Jaguars is going to run it near the 5-yard line, and Hayden Jay, that's a good run there for about 6 yards by Jay.
See Jacobs out there with a couple good blocks. Kennedy again sealing that edge. When you run the ball as much as these teams do, you're really relying on your guys on the outside to take on their guy to be able to spring that big run. And right there you see it, Mill Valley doing a good job blocking downfield.
2nd down and goal. Cooper Marsh, the quarterback last year, and Hayden Jay. It's a hard hit there. Big hit there by Schuler. And Theron Mead also put a big whack on the Jaguar quarterback, and he went down quickly. Theron Mead, they say, is the most improved player on the defense. They say the game has really slowed down for him. Actually lost about a half yard. So now 3rd down and goal from just outside the 5. Quick pass. And it's caught for a touchdown. That is Kendrick Jones, the senior at 6'5", just inside the goal line. And just kind of did a little button hook there and makes the catch for our first points of the game. Kendrick Jones.
Well, first pass of the game goes for a touchdown. You see Kendrick James just does a good job of finding the end zone, kind of boxing out his guy, making sure that, he secures the catch, doesn't have to get upfield. Good pass there by Jay. First points of the season for Mill Valley on the board in the passing game.
Jesse Wood to try the PAT, trying to replace Chris Tennant, the very good kicker that's at K-State as their number 2 kicker. Wood saw a little time last year and drills this PAT, and Mill Valley able to take advantage of a botched snap on a punt and throws this 6-yard touchdown pass to Kendrick Jones.
Yeah, like you said, Mill Valley does a good job taking advantage of the botched punt. Good field position. You thought Gardner was building a little bit of confidence, picking up that 4th down, but fumbled snap, pushed him back, and then obviously forced him in a punting situation. And a team like Mill Valley, they're not going to miss too many opportunities when given great field position right there. So we'll see if Gardner Edgerton can bounce back on the offensive side.
This guy, a FCS Division II prospect, K-State looking at him. Transferred in from Yates Center, Kansas. Had a touchdown in the state championship game against Wichita Northwest of 50 yards. Wingard will kick off. McClure is the deep man. This will be McClure from the 4. Jake McClure, right up the middle, breaks a tackle, has blockers in front of him, cross midfield, still going. McClure inside the 35-yard line.
What a return by McClure. Exactly what these guys needed.
63 yards for Jake McClure.
And you see nothing fancy about it. Just takes the ball, trusts his blockers, Remember, you got to hit that initial wall going full speed. Able to break through a couple arm tackles. You see the guys downfield working for him, trying to spring him loose. What a big-time play there for Gardner Edgerton.
And we have a new quarterback, Johnny, you mentioned. Colton Hawkinson, a sophomore, as Elder is still on the trainer's table. Hawkinson calling his own number. Tough spot for the sophomore, as got about 3 yards on his first down run. But once again, Elder is on the trainer's table being looked at. And he is not out with his squad right now. So that's a tough break for the junior starter for the Trailblazers. And now in comes a sophomore.
Well, anytime you get a new coaching staff that comes in, you know, they tell all the guys, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a starter week one. So I'm assuming a lot of these guys on the sidelines for Gardner, they're ready to get in the game when their number's called. And, you know, as we've seen, the second series of the game, they've already had to change quarterback.
Here's McClure spinning his way. Nice gain. As he'll get near the 25, a gain of about 4. McClure played club baseball with the defensive lineman on the other side for Mill Valley. As you take a look at our new quarterback, Hawkinson, the sophomore. And Aiden Schaefer and Jake McClure go all the way back to, they're just little kids playing baseball together. So they're going to probably meet up at some point here tonight. It's going to be third down and short. End around play, and
looks like he just lost his footing getting around the corner there.
Trying to turn the corner there, and
I would assume they're going to go for it. They're going to go for it inside their own territory.
This is the fastest guy on the GE roster. That is Lucas Anderson. Also, they said was the strongest pound-for-pound guy, and that was his own teammate McClure, who came over and helped with the interview with Coach Owen. And was the Gardner Edgerton Sports Information Director, and he said Anderson is our fastest guy and probably our strongest guy. They're going to go for it, like you mentioned, 4th down and 3. They're 1 for 1 on 4th down tries. The sophomore rolling, and oh my, he gets clotheslined down, and the GE bench wanting a flag, but Grant Ruskowski went high on the sophomore, and quarterback went down immediately. I don't know, is this a clothesline here, the old clothesline? Yeah, that is. That's when you're running through your backyard and you're running your mom's clothesline, and you, that could be a stunner in the professional wrestling world, but it's a 4th down stop nonetheless, and Mill Valley will take over on downs, as they will take it at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Jay with now a new running back in the backfield, Tristan Baker. This guy's a young guy, but they like him as he is sort of spun down immediately. How about Will Schuler playing some good defensive line for the Trailblazers?
Yeah, both of these offenses are looking to establish the run. So defense guys pinning their ears back, staying home, and then once they see the ball given to that running back, working downhill. And you see Schuler right there doing a good job, wrapping up, getting the guy to the ground, forcing Mill Valley into a long 2nd and long here.
Chris Walters in his 4th year as the defensive coordinator plays a 3-4. Immediate pressure. Jay gonna take off and he's gonna reach the ball out and try to get what he can. As once again, he was flushed immediately and had to go in immediate improvisation mode and able to maybe get a half yard. It's going to be 3rd down and long now, facing the Mill Valley offense, trying to take advantage of a 4th down stop.
Yeah, they were looking for the wheel route there with Baker, but good job by the Gardner secondary, seeing him out of the backfield.
Rolling, Jay throwing on the run, low and incomplete. As that time, they were looking for the young man that transferred in from Minnesota. That is Sean Aller-Heiligen. And I said, this guy's name is tough to pronounce, but how is he fitting in with your team? Well, he is fit in great, high GPA, And it seems like he's been playing with his team for the last couple of years, is what Coach Appleby said. Like, couldn't get this one. 4th down. Don't see a punter out there, but we may see a little pooch punt by Jay. A lot of quarterbacks do this, and yeah, he will punt it down the field. That's a pretty good punt, Johnny. You're the expert there, as he was pressured and knocked it inside the 20-yard line down near the 19. 57 yards with the run?
52.
Oh, 52.
But almost got blocked.
Yep, he got it away under pressure. And what, did he get it under the armpit of that?
Got it under the armpit, and Coach Appleby's telling him to go down next time, get that roughing the punter. But great punt right there.
Yeah.
Flipping the field. Obviously, Gardner had the big return, gave them the field position, and Mill Valley able to do the same thing on the special team. So we've seen one special team miscue, but 2 really good plays from both sides since then.
Well, it's going to be Hawkinson, the sophomore. He's going to continue to be the quarterback, along with McClure in the backfield. Pitch it out to McClure, turns it up. And making the stop was Bergeron, the safety man for the Jaguars. As we wind down things in your first quarter, the lone score, a 6-yard touchdown pass from Jay to Jones.
A good open field tackle right there by Bergeron. Again, you're not trying to do too much in open field. You're just trying to bring the guy down, and that's one thing these coaches are preaching week 1. Just you secure the tackle. You're not trying to do anything fancy here.
End of the first quarter, week 1 on the Kansas side. Mill Valley on the road taking on Gardner Edgerton. It's the Hy-Vee High School game of the week. Back with second quarter action right after this. The game of the week is brought to you by Hy-Vee. They're proud to support Kansas City High School athletics. Kevin White, Johnny Beck, our entire Spectrum Sports broadcasting crew in Gardner tonight at the Gardner Edgerton USD Athletic Complex, number 231. And after one, Mill Valley taking advantage of a miscue on a punt snap, leads it 7-0. And once again, quarterback Connor Elder is out, and a new quarterback in, just a sophomore, and Hawkinson running it now, and this will be the speed guy Anderson trying to get to the edge, and he does. Taken down there on the edge of the play by the Jaguar defense, and that'll be John Anderson, a senior defensive back, with the stop.
Dewey doing a good job out there in open space, allowing that run to kind of spring around that corner. Anytime you're trying to get around that corner, again, you talk about those wide receivers really staying locked in on their guy, allowing that ball carrier to get around.
You see the speed. Anderson also a track athlete. Inside handoff, and McClure able to get the first down as he runs it up the hashes across the 30-yard line.
Good job by Hawkinson there. It's kind of a low snap, but did a good job of getting that ball to his running back. Gardner picking up that first down.
Hawkinson on the roster listed at 5'9". Johnny, you think he may have grown a little bit since they released the roster?
He's the tallest guy on the field from what I can see.
All right,
now,
yeah,
so.
I'm agreeing with you there. That 5'9".
Well, sometimes you hit that growth spurt,
maybe,
early on. And
he grew in August, huh? He's going to run it here, and not much doing here. Good job by the defense, kind of bottling him up. It's still a tough assignment.
Getting those big guys up front for Mill Valley. Do such a good job of getting a push and not allowing that running back to get through that first line of defense. And, you talked about Gardner Edgerton having 3 new starters on that offensive line. And what a heck of a first game that these guys have. Looking across the line of scrimmage there, staring into guys that have played in 2-3 state championship games.
Second down and long. Quarterback in trouble. Take off, some nice moves. Finally taken down by Wooster, the Mike linebacker, but able really to salvage and avoid the sack and get a little bit on the play. Well, you thought he was going to lose big-time yardage here, but show some nice moves in the open field.
Rutkowski again in the backfield. He's not able to keep his footing, and see Hawkinson did what he could, picked up a yard. Still going to be a 3rd and long situation here for Gardner.
So they're going to go empty. 3 wide receivers, a wing, and a tight end. And the pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete.
It's almost a good thing that it was knocked down. Looked like the receiver slipped coming out of the route. And
looked like Douglas, the Will linebacker, got a glove on it here. Let's take another look. Number 13 in white. Yep, well, he didn't have to really jump it. I hit him right in the sternum area. Punt unit coming out. Will Schuler, their star defensive end, will do the punting. Return from the 32-yard line. Not much doing there.
41-yard punt there.
Turned by Massey. Good coverage, though, by the Trailblazers.
Yeah, Gardner Edgerton doing a really good job covering that punt downfield. Didn't have the most hang time, but still allowed those Gardner punt team to get down there and make the tackle. Looks like Mill Valley's going to spread it out a little bit here on offense.
Kennedy in the backfield from the 36, 1st and 10. Quick pass, and that's Napoli breaking a tackle. Still breaking another tackle. Still fighting his way. 1st down, catch and run by the senior leader, Jared Napoli. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Just an easy pitch and catch right here. Just simple out route. Napoli does a good job of keeping his feet moving. See that ball get a little loose right there, but does a good job picking up those extra yards.
He broke 3 tackles, Johnny, and getting the 1st down catch. The All-Stater.
Again, it doesn't have to be fancy in the passing game. You just got to get the ball to your playmakers and allow those guys to do their job.
Quarterback keeping on the read option. Gardner Edgerton kind of stuffing things. As making the stop was Pogue, the defensive lineman there, kind of leading the charge. Cam Teo was there, the Will linebacker as well. Say no gain, 2nd down and 10. Mill Valley rated 9 in our Super 25. And has their 4 state crowns under Coach Appleby. Quick pass, near side is caught. And the receiver is Aller Heiligen. And he stepped on the chalk after a decent gain. It'll be 3rd down and short. Let's see where he goes. Well, no, his knee went down. Okay, he didn't never hit the chalk. His knee went down.
Cam Teo came untouched, and Jay did a good job of just getting rid of that ball. Again, nothing fancy, just getting the ball to your playmakers.
Inside pass. Oh, a near catch on the rebound by both sides, as we have the players kind of both in blue jerseys and white jerseys having a crack at this after it bounced.
It looked like Napoli was going to easily pick up the 1st down, but great
Schuler.
job by the...
Schuler almost came in there, and the defensive end, and Napoli almost got it too, and they just kind of cancel each other out. Now 4th down and 2. Looks like the Jaguars.
That was Blazek there on the pass breakup.
And now we're going to get a timeout. 2nd.
From here, I think your defense is playing well enough where going to try and go for it, but the question is, Gardner Edgerton's done a pretty good job handling this rush offense. So you wonder if Mill Valley's going to elect to put the ball in the air to try to pick up this first down. There's plenty of weapons on that side of the field for Mill Valley to go to here, so it's hard to target just one or two guys if you're Gardner.
Coach Owen saying the big advantage is the experience that Mill Valley has at wide receivers compared to his secondary. And let's see if Coach Appleby wants to attack that.
It is fourth down.
On fourth down, Jay rolling, sets, looking down the field, and the pass is short and incomplete, looking for Jones. Looks like Blazek again with great coverage there, denied the pass, ball over on downs to Gardner Edgerton.
Elected to go with the rollout here. It looked like Jay was able to get his hips around on that throw and just came up a little bit short. And you wonder if that ball is a little bit slick. It's really hard to get that grip on it, get that ball downfield. But again, talk about this Gardner Edgerton defense. They've done a really good job of keeping this Mill Valley offense in check.
So that take over in good field position at the 44-yard line. Hawkinson in for the injured Elder. McClure in the backfield. Hawkinson will take off and run. Good block on the edge. Springs the quarterback free down the sidelines, and the sophomore will take it the distance. Touchdown, Gardner Edgerton, 56 yards.
I'm not sure who was that lead blocker, but man, he had a heck of a block. Pancaked his guy. Hawkinson did a good job of staying patient, saw the block, took the sideline, went up the field. For a guy that size, did a good job of kind of breaking away from the defense there. What a huge play. What a turn of events. Mill Valley looks like they're kind of marching down the field, may put some points on the board. Gardner Edgerton's defense makes a big stop on fourth down. Next play, Gardner Edgerton offense.
And the extra point try is up and good. As that was McClure with the PAT, but how about the young quarterback getting a nice block on the edge here?
Hey, you see the block that sprung him right there. Wasn't the prettiest, but you know, when you're the lead blocker, all you're trying to do is get a hat on a hat, and Hawkinson does the rest.
That was Carter Dewey on the edge getting the key block, I think.
You see a couple of guys out there.
And I tell you what, Colton showed a little speed there, you know, like felt like he was running the 100-meter dash there when he got going there. They
surprised
showed
himself
a
little bit, yeah. Well, you know, Coach Owen's going to put guys out there that can make plays, and I think Hawkinson knew that he was going to come into the game that soon. Obviously, the injury forced him out there, and I think he's done a good job of settling in. You see this Gardner Edgerton team starting to get a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, the shoes there and getting ready for the kick, using their kicks. Wow, I'm such a boomer. It's too fancy for me. As this one stopped before the kick was hit there, and it'll be a procedure penalty on the kicking team. This will cost Gardner Edgerton 5 yards.
Let's have him re-tee it. You saw the line drive kick there. Was able to get through the end zone. We'll see if Mill Valley is going to be able to field this kick. If it's not a very high kick, that's going to give this return man a little bit of a build-up.
Legal procedure on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. They've elected to re-kick.
Mikey Bergeron and Aiden Jacobs, the deep guys, as McClure will have to re-tee it 5 yards back. And he asks for a new football.
You got to make sure if you're on this kickoff unit, you're staying behind the kicker.
McClure line drives it down the field in between the two return men for a touchback.
He's able to get that touchback. You know, sometimes you run the risk kicking a line drive like that. You're giving the return team a little bit of a head start, but when you got a leg like that, you can just put it out of the back of the end zone. Once the ball crosses the goal line, it's a touchback.
Well, new ball game, 7-7 as the Mill Valley offense checks out on the field. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. They have a touchdown pass back in the first quarter to Kendrick Jones. And that was taking advantage of the short field. It'll be Baker in the backfield. And whistles prior to the snap.
False start, offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
That was on Napoli. Looked like he was getting it on the jet sweep. 1st and 15.
I think that's 2 on him, and I think he's just kind of working a little bit towards the line of scrimmage there. Remember, you got to stay parallel from where you started. And, you know, that's something these referees are going to watch closely, especially when there's a lot of motion. Sometimes easy to start to creep a little bit towards that line of scrimmage, give yourself a head start.
Motion by Jones. Jay in trouble, throws a pass to his running back out of the backfield. Baker incomplete. So now it'll be a 2nd down and 15, and good pressure there by the Gardner Edgerton defense.
Yeah, Pogue just stayed at home. He didn't bite on the fake, didn't bite on the sweep. Stayed at home, got enough pressure. Jay just kind of has to get rid of it.
Pogue, a returning starter, a junior. Good size, 6'4", 220. Jay setting up a screen pass. Blockers in front. Flag is down. This is Baker. Baker will be caught from behind, but might be coming back as a player down the field. Is what you're thinking, Johnny?
Usually a flag there is going to determine that. Obviously, the referee that threw the flag is coming to plead his case on why he threw it. Going to have a little discussion to see what anybody else saw. It was a well-designed play. Yeah, and you see here the offensive line just getting out there a little too soon. They're going to get that on 76, but.
So, yeah, Fulcher and Melvin, the left side of the O-line, getting the call. Now 2nd down and 20 as they're back to the 10-yard line. Penalties really hurting this drive for Mill Valley. Jay throws, diving catch is a good one by Kendrick Jones at the 19-yard line, a gain of 9, but he laid out and made a terrific catch. Kendrick Jones.
There wasn't a big window there, and Jay knew his guy was working towards the sideline. Great concentration right there to pull that in. You know, it's not a big play, but makes it a more manageable 3rd down situation here. Still left with 3rd and 12.
Baker in the backfield. Looks like they have 4 receivers deployed on this set as Jay, plenty of time to throw, surveys, looks middle, battle for the catch. Jones and a Gardner Edgerton receiver, and they usually give it to the offensive player, and they do.
Well, there's flags down again. So
Cam Teo was grabbing the ball as well, as we got a flag back near the 32 as Jones is grabbing his hamstring as he leaves the field, so that's not a good sign.
You wonder if that's just, again, the cramping you talked about at the beginning of the game.
Holding defense number 21. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 1st down.
So Cam Teo was the guy that was in the joust there for the football. with the receiver Kendrick Jones with 2 great catches on this drive.
Yeah, great job up front by the Mill Valley offensive line, giving Jay enough time to let that route kind of play out. And what a great catch right there. Pick up the first down on 3rd and long.
From the 44, Baker. Short gain on the play. Job by the defensive line there to shut him down. Dexter Carr able to shut the play down for a short pickup. It'll be 2nd down and long. Quick pass, broken up. Blazik coming over the top of Napoli, able to knock it away. Eli, the junior safety, having a nice game tonight.
That's 2 pass breakups now for Blazik, and does a good job just playing the football, not trying to do too much. You know, a lot of times you see that defensive back get a little aggressive and try and run through the receiver, but once that ball hits Napoli's hands, does a good job of just knocking it out. Forcing again, another long 3rd down situation here for Mill Valley.
Jay rolling, throwing, pass is dropped, incomplete. Aiden Jacobs had it, but it looked like his attention was distracted there as he knew he was going to get hit. And he got whacked on the play by Porter and never caught the ball. Was he peeking there?
Peeking, and you know, again, we don't know if this ball is a little bit slick. Looks like the ball just kind of slipped through his hands, but like you said, you know, you hear those footsteps, and sometimes it's hard to keep that concentration all the way through the catch.
Porter is a twin brother on the squad. And this will be a punt by Jay, who's a very good punter. Sends it down the field. It takes a nice roll. And tell you what, Jay done a good job. That one was a ball that turned over. That was a nice spiral down the field, down near the 14-yard line.
Yeah, 41-yard punt right there by Jay. Does a good job of not allowing the return man any yardage there. And Gardner Edgerton's going to start this drive inside their own 15-yard line.
His other one was over 50, the first one, so Jay's done a good job, but I feel like the momentum is shift to the home team now with that nice long run by the sophomore quarterback as he checks out on the field, but he'll work deep in his own territory from the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Quarterback gonna run it. It's 2 hands on the ball, and it's a limited gain on the play as Jags able to diagnose that play and shut it down to a short gain.
Kind of looks similar to the touchdown run, and Mill Valley has made some adjustments. And they see those lead blockers coming out. Force the ball carrier up the field rather than letting them turn the corner. And saw there's some pressure up front by the Mill Valley defensive line and finished off those linebackers in secondary.
2nd down and 9. Inside running play. This is McClure stacked up, able to get it out near the 18-yard line. McClure is kind of the Swiss Army knife of this team. He can kick, punt, kick return, punt return, play some quarterback if you need. What he can't do is, if he's the running back, Coach Owen said, is he can't play defense. Normally he'd be a linebacker, but when they have him playing running back, Coach Owen knows how much wear and tear is put on your body at running back. They have to save him for offense only. Now 3rd down and 6. Quarterback rolling, throwing, completing. And it is a 1st down catch. So a nice hook up there to the wide out there, as that is Randy Singleton, a young sophomore. They love his upside. This is a good throw by the other sophomore.
Yeah, you see Hawkinson just to sprint out right, throwing that ball on the run. Singleton does a good job of finding the sticks, making sure he's going to pick up that first down. It's a big third down pickup there for Gardner. Able to push that ball up the field a little bit, kind of get out of that dangerous territory on the field. You always hate punting inside your own 20-yard line, but this offense able to move the chains.
That is a big third down conversion out to the 28-yard line for the Trailblazers. Need to be clock watching here, though, as we've gone under 4 minutes before Hy-Vee at the half. They still have the 2 timeouts, but keep it in mind as they go to their speed guy. Anderson flagged down, and Massey coming from the secondary makes the stop.
And it looked like it's going to be a false start.
Illegal shift on the offense. The offensive line went down with a man in motion. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
We're going to leave it to our guy of 50 years to make the call,
yeah.
not the guy in the booth.
I think they were set there, were they? And before they even snapped the ball. Illegal shift the call, 1st and 15.
Well, when you go back to the clock, and if you're Gardner, you're kind of in a weird situation because you do want to try and get down the field and score, but at the same time, you don't want to give the ball back to Mill Valley with too much time on the field, too much time on the clock.
Pass to the outside, and it's broken up. Good coverage there from the defensive back. And that is Baruch Hasabu, number 26, breaking up the pass.
Singleton sitting there just waiting on that ball. He's got to go attack it, help his quarterback out there a little bit. And with that being said, fortunate that ball did not get intercepted.
Baruch, a junior defensive back, getting some time. Seen a lot of guys playing in the secondary for Mill Valley on this very muggy night in Gardner. As Hawkinson going to take off using his speed. Turns it up the field very close to the first down. This guy's showing off the wheels.
When you see him cover up that ball, he knows he's going to take contact. Instead of sliding or going out of bounds, he wants to pick up those extra few yards, but you got to love to see him covering that ball up.
Yeah, he does put 2 hands around the ball every time he sees contact coming. Fitterer making the stop as after that nice run. 14 yards, it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Trailblazers. And a running play, and now we see the power run by McClure.
They put Hawkinson out wide. Just with that run game package, and they needed a few yards, and they picked it up. That's a tough run right there to pick up that first down. Keep this drive going for Gardner. Now you're kind of in that position now where you're thinking, let's get down the field here to try to get some points on the board.
Yeah, we mentioned McClure can play some quarterback. Just a sharp young man. All-conference player, also very good baseball player as well. 1st and 10 pass. And that was Singleton, who was the guy he was looking for. And I'll tell you what, the old Baruch Hasabu was thinking about a pick 6. Was dreaming about it here.
When you see Hawkinson, he kind of takes a lick here at the end. Able to get up from that, but he knew he was going to take the lick and still threw a good ball, but good job.
Yeah, quarterback pressure by Cody Moore as we get a Gardner Edgerton timeout as we're under 2 to go before Hy-Vee at the half. Numbers and highlights brought to you by Hy-Vee, your employee-owned Hy-Vee stores, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Just there yesterday getting the old groceries taken care of for a big football weekend. Are you excited about a good college football game? I know you love college football, and of course your Jayhawks are playing tonight, and I think you're a little nervous about the new head coach and his matchup there in Lawrence.
Yeah, anytime you start a new coaching staff, new regime, there's a lot of changes that happens. You got to get guys to buy in. Obviously the timing wasn't the best, but I think Coach Leipold likes the challenge, gets his guys hyped up. But anytime you're playing in that week one, anything can happen. We've seen the Appalachian State beat the Michigans. We've seen the North Dakota States beat the K-States, the KUs. So it doesn't matter what level you're at. That week one matchup is kind of your identification of who you're going to be moving forward.
After the second time out, 2nd down and 10. Hawkinson with the pass to McClure, and Baruch is right there to shut him down. Tell you what, these second unit guys, Baruch, Sabu, and Massey, they're getting a lot of time here. Right?
You see Sabu does a good job making that open field tackle. Or if you can't make a play on the ball, your next job's not allow him to pick up any yards after catching. Does a good job there making the tackle.
Yeah. Now 3rd down and 5. Motion by McClure. Now he's a very good receiver, and they'll throw it low to him. Now he'll throw a second pass down the field. Austin Bowie, the tight end, wide open, and he'll take it the distance. Touchdown. Gardner, Edgerton. Tricky, tricky, tricky. 48 yards.
What a play call right there. That's not an easy play to execute when everything happens so close to the line of scrimmage, but well executed. Caught Mill Valley being a little bit aggressive on that 3rd down. And Gardner Edgerton didn't start the game off well, but able to kind of right the ship, and now we see him here taking the lead late in the 2nd quarter.
Check that. It was 52 as McClure in to try the PAT who threw the touchdown pass. So 52 yards. McClure, we mentioned, he's the Swiss Army knife, and he shows off his arm here.
Yeah, you talked about it. Good job Hawkinson getting that ball out of his hands as quick as he can. You're not going to get the laces on that, and McClure does a good job of staying patient, floating that ball up there. Again, you see the commit to that. Wide open down the field. What a great play call, what great execution there. But again, you got to give Hawkinson a lot of credit getting that ball out of his hands, getting the ball to McClure. And like he's talked about, McClure's the do-all guy, and right there, that was the first touchdown pass of the year.
That's just a great play call.
Sometimes you don't know how these guys are going to react losing their starting quarterback, but it looks like these guys have kind of rallied around the team, and Coach Owen's not going to let these guys feel sorry for themselves. These guys battle back. Mill Valley's kind of wanting to know what happened with all the momentum they had to start the football game. That 9 plays, 86 yards, just 5 minutes off the clock, but we talked about this game was kind of a field position battle. Past couple possessions, and Gardner able to get a big drive there, capped off by that big 52-yard touchdown pass.
This is a big-time kickoff out of the end zone for a touchback, and now Mill Valley will take over at their own 20. And I think they got to be a little bit stunned here. Talk about last year, Gardner Edgerton going in and beating Mill Valley. Cooper Marsh didn't play. One of their top offensive linemen didn't play, and a lot of people say, well, Cooper Marsh was probably their most valuable player. But hey, GE went in to Mill Valley and took care of business in Shawnee.
Well, they definitely came into this game thinking they could pick up this win, and you see Mill Valley trying to replace a couple of their big playmakers last year.
Running play, and they'll run it to the Mill Valley side, and running the football is Reese Kennedy, a senior.
Brought down at the 30.
Picked up the first down.
First down will stop the clock. They'll place the football and then restart the clock. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line after the 10-yard run by Reese Kennedy. And this is Kennedy again. Reese Another first down run. And let's see if they want to take the timeout. The clock will stop for them to move the chains up to the 41-yard line, a gain of 11. So back-to-back big runs by Kennedy. And the clock is running and no timeout taken. Two-time defending state champs down by a touchdown and an extra point as we approach halftime. And this is Kennedy again to the edge. And nice play by Pogue, just running him down, the defensive lineman. That is your end of the second quarter. And the fans here at...
No, he's going to took the timeout.
Oh, they did get the timeout. Now, somebody better tell the Trailblazers who are leaving the field. Coaches are saying, come back, guys. They did get a timeout in at the 45-yard line. It'll be second down and 6.
We're going to see how far Jay can throw the football.
Yep, the old Hail Mary, as you see the official with holding up the one finger for 1 second. As Coach Owen, he's saying, what? I was already in my full sprint to the locker room. I was working on my halftime speech there.
Well, if you're Gardner Edgerton here, you just got to make sure your guys are playing the ball. You don't want any stupid penalties down the field. It's going to be quite the heave to get it there, 55 yards, if he gets all the way to the line of scrimmage. So we'll see if there's any trickeration here.
Well, seen trickeration work for Gardner Edgerton. And this will be a running play to Kennedy. And Kennedy with some good runs on this series, and that'll be the final play of the second quarter, we think. Yes, you can go to the locker room, guys, this time. It's official. It's halftime. Back with Hy-Vee at the half. Season opener in Kansas. The home team leading by 7 at the break. 14-7 on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Back at half here at Gardner Edgerton, week 1 of the Kansas high school football season, and GE leading by a touchdown and an extra point. There is Connor Elder, who started the game but injured his leg, we think. I don't want to guess on his injury, but he was on the trainer's table for a long time. And this young guy came in, Colton Hawkinson, and has starred in the first half. And he run the offense nice. Early on, Elder was struggling as that snap was wide. And then Hawkinson comes in, and tell you what, I think Gardner Edgerton realized this guy's pretty fast when he gets out there and gets those legs a-pumping.
Yeah, he shows his athleticism there. Again, not trying to do too much. Didn't come in the game and try and win the game on one play. He has stayed poised, kind of ran this offense, just like Coach Owen probably talked to him about during the week, making sure we don't have any stupid plays, no turnovers, don't take sacks, and kind of seen this Gardner Edgerton team building up some momentum leading into this third quarter.
Yeah, that's Connor Elder left the game. We saw him on the trainer's table getting looked at for a while. And Mill Valley got the early score with the short field on the muffed punt, but what was the message in the visiting locker room, Johnny, from Coach Appleby to his Jaguars?
I think having 55 yards on the ground, that's going to have to change. That is a mentality for this Mill Valley team to control the line of scrimmage. We saw it also on the defensive side. Gardner Edgerton has over 100 yards rushing, so that's something that he's going to talk to his guys about. It's going to start up front with the offensive line and the defensive line. He's going to challenge those guys to come out here in the second half. I'm going to get back to the Mill Valley way of doing things. There's a culture that is built there, and it's built on being physical, being disciplined, and right now you kind of see some chinks in the armor.
There you look at Coach Gene Weir, who's the offensive line coach for Mill Valley, and he's got to be a little frustrated, but Really got to get that O-line going and get that running game going.
He's been around long enough to know that it starts up front with his guys. And, you know, sometimes you get a little bit too much confidence when you score on the opening drive. You get complacent, and I think that's what he's going to talk to his guys about is, you know, getting back to the old ways and punching them in the mouth and drive them back every single play. And these guys are going to fight.
You see Joel Appleby talking to the white hat a little extra longer than I expected there.
Might be congratulating him on 50.
There's a way to spin it positively. yeah. Maybe that's it. Congratulations, Gary. 50 years of officiating.
And then go after him about the missed calls.
Okay.
You know, got to have that lead up.
All right. Way to spin it in the right direction as we get ready for the third quarter kick. It'll be Mill Valley to receive. Gardner Edgerton won the opening coin toss, took the football. So Mill Valley going to get their chance for their offense to get back out there. Coach Appleby and his offense getting ready to go and ready to receive the second half kickoff. Four state titles for Coach Appleby, and you mentioned that winning culture, and you talked to Jesse Owen, and he says it all starts with the man at the top. That's Coach Appleby, and you know Coach Owen wants to do that as well. I said, what's your goal here at GE? Win. Very simple. And we are ready for the third quarter. Here's the run up by McClure. Little squib kick taken by an up man. And hard run to the 33-yard line. And that'll be Cody Moore. When you see a defensive lineman scoop that up, he showed good north-south ability there.
Yeah, that's a heck of a job to field that ball off the turf. Kind of skipped right to him. Sometimes you let that ball go through to your return man, but he said, hey, here's my opportunity.
He grabbed it and didn't do any DeMarcus Robinson action there. Just went straight up the field. Got what he could, and good field position now at the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Hayden Jay, getting his third start. In the backfield will be Reese Kennedy, who was kind of hot there at the end of the second quarter and starts the third quarter hot as he fumbled the football as he got it across midfield. And Gardner Edgerton saying they have it, and they do. Fumble recovery for the Trailblazers is coming up with the football was Amaje Glover from the secondary. Great run there as he goes for like 17, and then he coughs up the football at the end of the run.
Yeah, and what we just talked about at halftime, Mill Valley's going to have to do a better job of running the ball. They've got a 15, 20-yard run going, and then the other thing we talked about was neither team had turned the ball over, and right there you get our first turnover of the game, first play, second half.
The old broadcaster's jinx there, Johnny. You say no turnovers, and then one happens. Here's a little swing pass to McClure. Lowers his head and shoulders for a short pickup. It'll be second down and long. Anderson a little slow getting up.
Coach Appleby may be coming up to the booth after the game and letting me know what he thinks of me. So try and jinx anybody moving forward here. And you talk about the momentum, though, that Gardner Edgerton has been able to build after the bad start, and they've done such a good job of keeping their crowd in the game. I mean, like you talked about, these people want to see a good football team, and they're getting a good football game here week one.
Short side run by the quarterback, gets a nice block. Able to turn the corner close to the first down, maybe a yard short, is Hawkinson, who's shown great prowess as a runner and uses good ball security as he kind of,
you hate to say
hugs that football.
Sneaky speed, but he's so long, he's just covering ground, and he's just outrunning a lot of these guys on the Mill Valley defense right now, getting around the corner, picking up these big runs, leaving them with the very manageable third down one.
And we go Wildcat with McClure. Once again, he threw a touchdown pass, and McClure, he is fighting hard. The second effort may have gotten him there as Mill Valley went for the strip. McClure did not give it up, and That second effort may have got him the first down. We'll wait for the spot.
And you see Schaefer, he just shoots through there, gets the hands on him, but not able to bring him down. And McClure, looks like they're going to spot him short.
Well, good eyes, Johnny, on the
looked like
spot.
It looked like the second chance got him, but maybe, you know, we couldn't see that knee down. And
the whistle had blown there as his forward momentum had been stopped. And they're going to go for it. They converted one in the first half. And Hawkinson blown up on the play. Nice play by Rutkowski. Tackle for a loss. Ball over on downs. How about Grant Rutkowski, the defensive end?
Great job by the Mill Valley defense coming out after the sudden change, forcing the turnover on downs. We talked about Gardner Edgerton had all of the momentum after forcing that turnover, but you see this Mill Valley defense respond. And again, you talked about what was the halftime speech about, and it's just get back to playing physical football, and their backs were against the wall, doing a good job of forcing the turnover on downs there, giving their team good field position here.
Napoli on the jet sweep, trying to get to the edge. Able to get across midfield, not much running room there.
We haven't seen a lot of success on first down runs by either team, and you see Mill Valley do a good job picking up 6 yards, 5 yards on first down. So you can keep the ball moving forward. Those 4 or 5 yard runs, those are the ones that turn into the big run. Your guy breaks loose. Pick up that momentum here if you're Mill Valley.
Jones, who caught a touchdown pass in the slot. This is Tristan Baker, the speedy sophomore. And he has the first down, move the chains.
He'll move the chains for a first down.
So we see a pretty good job of both running backs being involved here. Baker and Kennedy kind of sharing the wealth. So Napoli with the carry. You know, Jay's gonna keep it every once in a while. So gonna mix it up as much as they can on offense here.
From the 44, first and 10. Trying to take advantage of a fourth down stop, and the quarterback's blown up on the play. As coming up and making the stop is Cam Teo, the Will linebacker.
Cam Teo's been active. He does a good job of taking on the blocker as well as bringing down the ball carrier. But remember, it's all about leverage and angles, and you don't want to overrun and allow a cutback lane.
It's a big loss on the play. Cam Teo will take a -5 on his tackle for a loss charge. So second down and 15 back near midfield for Jay. Pressured up the middle, screen pass set up, juggled, and caught on the rebound, but only for a yard gain as Baker was playing hot potato with that football and finally reeled it in. I think on the second bounce off of him here. Let's see. Double up. Doink,
this is
doink,
the play that
doink.
they got.
Third one. Okay, third one, yeah.
This is that play that got called back earlier in the first half. Went for about 35 yards. An eligible man downfield. The linemen did their job that time, but just the bobble kind of cost the extra yards there. Mill Valley's forced into a long third down situation.
Third down and 14. Jay rolling to his strong side. Hit as he throws. Pass caught on the sideline. And a nice play there on a comeback route by the tight end transfer, Aller Heiligen.
Jay does a good job of staying in it. Knows he's going to take the hit. It was a good ball there. Great route by the wide receiver, and just picks up enough for that first down. But you talk about these receivers, and Aller Heiligen does a good job of noticing where the sticks are, gets past the sticks, works back, catches that ball on the sideline. That's a big-time first down right there for Mill Valley.
Huge third down conversion on third down and 14. Baker, the sophomore, into the secondary using that speed. Baker gets a good block down the field. He's inside the 5, still fighting. And let's see where they're going to spot him. He's just going to be a little bit short. It'll be first and goal, as it was the And an injury, Zach Thomas down for GE, but what a run by the speedy sophomore, Tristan Baker.
A great run by Baker here, but you notice the block downfield. Aiden Jacobs just does a good job of staying with this guy, allowing Baker to just kind of make a couple moves. Just stopped short of the goal line there, but big time run.
First and goal from the 2, and Baker cutting it back, but no signal. And it'll be second down and goal. But like you said, great blocking down the field, set up that long run by Tristan Baker.
You know, it just doesn't get talked enough when these guys are working so hard to, you know, allow the running game to set up the passing game, and it's so important that those guys stay disciplined and make the play downfield.
Jay will call his own number, cuts it back, and he has the Mill Valley touchdown. 1-yard run by Hayden Jay. And Mill Valley's a point away.
Jay just staying patient behind his line and knows he just has to get that yard. Just kind of falls forward. But after that turnover to start the second half, this Mill Valley offense responds, kind of feeding off what the defense did. You've seen this a couple times with both teams. Defense kind of getting the momentum, and then the offense turns around and turns it into points.
Extra point by Wood is up and good, even at 14. Third quarter action on the Hy-Vee High School game of the week. Let's go back to the TD run. Good job by the guys up front. And Jay with a cutback run, able to get it across the goal line.
Yeah, and you see those big guys up front. A little bit of penetration, but Jay stays patient, sees the cutback lane, knows where he has to get to, and just enough to cross that goal line. But you know, this is what they probably talked about in halftime. Got to take it one play at a time. Half didn't start off the way we wanted it to. These guys kind of stayed with it. Able to pick up that big 3rd and long on that pass play. Set up that touchdown. A touchdown run to tie the game up at 14.
Yeah, the big catch by Aller Heiligen, the tight end. Transfer from Minnesota coming back, making a nice sideline catch. Then the long run by Baker, and that put him on the doorstep for the Jay touchdown run. So he has a touchdown pass and a touchdown run in the game. And fans making noise here on the Mill Valley side. McClure is the deep man awaiting the wingered kick.
Back deep to receive 17, McClure for the Blazers.
And this one will be just taken off the chest and immediately going to the ground, as the up man that time was Blazik, who's done a great job in the secondary tonight. And good field position now. Well, it's up the sleeve of Jesse Owen. We've seen him go with a double pass. They were stopped on 4th down last time.
Yeah, and that's what you want to talk to your team about. You know, we're putting ourselves in good situations. We just have to capitalize. Just got to keep the confidence built on your quarterback and let him get the ball to his playmakers.
And he's going nowhere, trying to run it up the middle. And the guy closing the door on him that time was Brock Wooster, the Mike linebacker. Was he blitzing here? Watch number 18 just, shoot the gap, and then the quarterback gets a ride to the ground.
Well, when you have those big guys up front, you know, averaging 240 across the board, they're going to take a hat on a hat, and that allows those linebackers, even though they're, you know, a little bit inexperienced, you know, still able to do their job. And anytime you can get a linebacker running downhill, you're going to see a big hit in the backfield, just like we saw there by Wooster.
Wooster trying to fill the big shoes of Colton Jagan, who's the team's leading tackler last year. We got a penalty on Gardner Edgerton, early movement. Jagan now playing for Pittsburgh State. And of course, Wooster had an older brother. He's following in his brother's footsteps. So now it'll be a 2nd down and long. Coach Owen, speaking of Pitt State, was a very good running back at Pitt State, an excellent player at Olathe North. They had a Ring of Fame at ODAC. He would get on it, and you know how many great Eagles have played there, and NFL players and Simone winners, but I guarantee you he'd make the Ring of Fame if they had one, as now we've got whistles prior to the snap, and Coach Owen is going to go talk to his squad. And,
first charge.
He doesn't look like a happy camper going out there.
Well, you want to make sure you're talking to your players. First game as a coach with a new team. Kind of understand the situation at hand. Coming to the second half, you have the lead. Other team picks up a couple big plays, ties the game. You got to make sure your guys understand the situation. We don't want any stupid penalties to continue to go back. We don't want the momentum to go back to the Mill Valley side. So kind of keep these guys in check, keep them poised. Again, it's a sign of a good head coach. Understand that, you know, these guys, some of these guys for Gardner have never been in this situation. So got to kind of talk them through it. Looks like that's what he was doing there, letting his guys know that it's not acceptable to go jump off sides and force us in long situations.
Well, after the timeout, second down and 16 for the Blazers. They're back to the 21-yard line. The sophomore in trouble, dodges Rutkowski, and then is taken down. As making the stop there was number 91, Cody Moore, came flying in. And we'll get the sack here. Rutkowski with the initial pressure, number 52. And then watch 91. Whoa. That is a man out of control. And you see the gesture toward his helmet. That's the old Land Sharks deal, if you're wondering what the heck's he doing there with it.
Well, when you got that much pressure in your face, your eyes are going to go to the defenders and not look downfield. And Hawkinson did what he could and just cover that ball up and take the sack. You see this Mill Valley team kind of coming alive here. Looks like they're going to get a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense number 4. 5-yard penalty. Brings up third down.
Delay of game on the offense.
You got some options here. You could try and catch him off guard, maybe get a quick kick.
Moves the line of scrimmage back to the Trailers at 12.
Well, the frustration continues for Owen as his team continues to back up further. Third down and 25, back to the 12-yard line. Hawkinson hit as he throws, ball on the field, covered up by Mill Valley. They'll have it at the 9-yard line, as coming up with it was Rutkowski, but who knocked it loose is the question, as Hawkinson kind of held on to the ball a long time and paid the price as he got chopped from behind. Let's see who gets it here.
It'll be first and goal to go for the Jaguars.
Yeah, let's see. It looked like number 45, Truman Griffith, a sophomore defensive end. There he comes around. There he is, right there.
Yeah, and you see Hawkinson, he's got to recognize that and just tuck it and take the sack there, but tries to get that ball down the field.
Here's Reese Kennedy into the game, powering his way inside the 5-yard line. It'll be second down and goal. Now, we didn't see Kennedy on that last series, but he fumbled the last time he had it, and they let Baker have his touches, and Baker had that big run that set up the J 1-yard touchdown run. Ball at the 3-yard line, second down and goal. Turnovers even now at 1 apiece. Here's Kennedy trying to go with some second effort and kind of bully ball his way in, but the GE line denies him. It'll be third down and goal.
See him get stood up there initially, and then you see the blue jerseys rally around, finish off that tackle. Anytime you're in those situations, it's just kind of a rugby scrum. You're trying to push forward, push backwards, and Gardner Edgerton wins that battle right there.
Good job by the nose guard, Dexter Carr. junior, returning starter, kind of clogging up things in the middle. 3rd down and goal. Give it off to Napoli. He'll cut it back on the jet sweep, and he's in for the touchdown. Well, they go with a senior leader, and Jared Napoli, and he's able to get it in. You know, that's a jet sweep that's cut short, Johnny. You just kind of hit the jet sweep, and then when you see that gap, turn on the right blinker and get in the end zone.
Yeah, for being a bigger guy, he does a good job of cutting it upfield, showing his agility off there. He knew where he had to get to, and kind of seen this Mill Valley offensive line start to take charge up front.
Well, they're up 20-14. Wood with a PAT try, and he is 3 for 3. Well, you turn it over deep in your own territory, and twice tonight you've seen Mill Valley take advantage. One was a botched punt snap, and then a quarterback strip set up this Napoli jet sweep from 2 yards out.
Yeah, and like you talked about, Mill Valley giving 2 golden opportunities inside the 20-yard line, starting the drive. It's just too good of a team, too good of a program to not capitalize on that. That's the difference in the game right now, is Mill Valley able to take full advantage of those miscues by Gardner Edgerton. We've seen Gardner Edgerton down, though, by 7 before, and did a good job of responding. Remember, that all started, that momentum shift, when McClure took the kickoff back about 60 yards and set up Gardner Edgerton with good field position. We'll see if they can't get a good return here.
Gardner prepares to kick back to receive number 17, McClure.
Senior kicker Wingard has it on the tee. McClure all pumped up, ready to return it inside the 10-yard line. Will they send it to him? Or last time they sent it to one of the up men. That's what it'll be from the 13-yard line. That's Mr. Speed himself, Anderson, across the 30. And it'll be 19 yards on the return, and good field position now. But if you're Gardner Edgerton, Johnny, the second half not so kind thus far, and they need to find a spark here. I think that's what Coach Owen's looking for.
Well, it started off great for him, forcing the fumble on the first play from scrimmage, but not able to capitalize. As we talked about, Mill Valley's defense did a good job of stopping him on 4th down, and they haven't really looked back since that point. So we'll see if this Gardner Edgerton team can get back on track on the offensive side of the ball here.
It's McClure on the left hip of the quarterback. And the quarterback is in trouble as Schaefer had the first penetration, and then you saw a wave of white jerseys come in and throw the Blazer quarterback for a loss of about 3 yards.
And Schaefer's kind of having his way up front right now. It's about his 3rd or 4th time he's met the ball carrier in the backfield. Doesn't get the tackle, but slows him down enough and allows his teammates to rally around the ball for the tackle for loss.
His dad, Mick Schaefer, here tonight, along with mom, Janae. Quick pass to the outside. McClure the catch. The stiff arm down the sidelines. And let's see where they spot it. It'll be a first down catch and run to the 46-yard line. That is a big-time play. 18 yards, and McClure just really takes it up the field after this catch.
Yeah, you see Hawkinson throwing it on the outside shoulder, allowing McClure to catch that ball with momentum. Sometimes you see those balls thrown behind and doesn't allow the wide receiver or tight end to spin upfield, but we've seen McClure make a couple big-time plays, and right there's another one.
Running play. Stopped nicely there by Wooster as running play by McClure. Well,
2nd and 7.
if you're Gardner Edgerton, this is what the doctor ordered. You want to have a Nice time-consuming drive and try to tie this ball game up here and go to the fourth quarter and say we'll take our chances with the two-time defending state champs.
Well, if you're Mill Valley, you really got to focus in on McClure. He's been the guy that's killed you all night. See him continue to get the ball and make big plays.
Flags are down prior to the snap. This one on the Gardner Edgerton offense. I was looking through the old stat sheet and trying to figure out some things that went wrong from Mill Valley in the last time these teams met. They had 15 penalties in the game, so hard to win a game when you have 15 penalties. We're not quite to that level in this game, but both teams have had their share of yellow thrown on them. Second down, and it's now 12 with the walk-off. And Anderson can't get the handoff, and it's covered up by Mill Valley. So there's another miscue. Turnover number 2, and it's Truman Griffith, the guy that had the strip, now gets the FR. Fumble recovery on the jet sweep that didn't work.
And you just see Hawkinson not able to get that ball into the pouch, and Anderson not able to secure that football. You hate to see it. Fortunate for Mill Valley, they're right there. And talked about Griffin being the man of the second half on defense here. He's made a couple big plays. And again, this Mill Valley offense starting off good field position inside the 40 of Gardner Edgerton's territory.
Baker in the backfield. Jay to throw on first down, looking for Jones down the field. Diving attempt incomplete. And that's some good coverage there in the secondary by Amaje Glover. And Jones a little shaken up on the play.
He's got that cramp too.
Yep.
You can just tell when these guys cramp up, I mean, they're helpless. I mean, they can't even.
Yeah, we've seen.
We see it every year, and it's just.
Well, at least he's running it off. I've seen whole bodies lock up. I mean, guys, in our week 1 game there at Liberty, I mean, saw some players just really.
Yeah, and it takes these guys out of the game sometimes. You know, it forces them not to be able to come back in. So we're hoping that Jones will be able to get a little bit of water and get back in there.
Second down and 10 from the 35.
Or pickle juice, right?
Yeah, I think that's what. Yep.
Or mustard.
I'm a big Pedialyte guy, actually. It's not cheap, but it seems to work. This running play by Baker. I was watching the training camp video when the Chiefs show up at training camp, and I saw all the players carrying Pedialyte in their hand. I'm like, okay. I said it's $5 for a liter, but it seems to work for me. Of course, maybe I could cut back on all the beef jerky I'm eating. It's a little salty. maybe that's what's dehydrating me there. I don't know. Third down and 7 here as we get back to football. Jay, play action, looking near sideline, and the pass is caught. Oh my! The coverage was perfect, and Aiden Jacobs, the concentration, the catch. It'll be 1st and goal coming up here for the Jaguars. You talk about fitting into a small window. Jay to Jacobs. Now at the doorstep, two-time defending state champs, Mill Valley.
And you see Jacobs high point this ball. Jay does a good job throwing it up there, and
oh man, right over the shoulder.
Cornerback never turned around to find the ball.
It buzzed his right shoulder pad.
Great coverage, just better throw and even better catch.
And this will be Baker going low. He's in. 1-yard touchdown run. Tristan Baker takes it in. And Mill Valley taking advantage of the fumble. Get the 1-yard touchdown run by the sophomore, Tristan Baker.
Yeah, going back to that throw and catch, they couldn't have better coverage down the field, but Jay threw the ball in the tight window, and Jacobs goes up, pulls that ball down. We've seen this Mill Valley offense really taking advantage of great field position.
Extra point is right through, and
put 21 on the board here in the second half.
the matchup, they said, was the experience of the wide receivers in Jacobs and Napoli and Jones, and they've come up with some big plays tonight. Well, it started with the miscue on the jet sweep, Johnny, and let's see, was it the handoff or was the wide receiver just never got the ball? He hit his right hip, and Griffith gets the fumble recovery, and watch this pass here. Down to the 1, setting up the Baker TD run. Got Skinny in the hole and got in for 6. And all of a sudden, tell you what, I thought Mill Valley was in trouble, and this is the heart of a champion here.
Well, anytime you bring in a new quarterback, we know that Jay got a couple starts last year, but for the most part, he was not the starting quarterback, and anytime you can surround him with really good playmakers, you know, you're seeing him build confidence and chemistry with those guys right now. And, you know, the running game wasn't there in the first half, so they made a few adjustments. Running game's a little bit better in the second half, and it's allowing them to run some play action and get the ball thrown downfield, and we've seen it work a couple times now.
Home fans still into it, cheering on their Blazers as this will get into the end zone for a touchback. Still a lot of time. Under a minute to go in your third quarter, but the momentum on the side of the two-time defending state champs of 5A. A couple of second half turnovers have hurt Gardner Edgerton. Penalties as well. Especially when you turn the football on the short side of the field, and Mill Valley, that's a team you don't want to do that to, because they will take advantage in most cases, and that's what they've done.
It's what good football teams do, and there's a reason why they make it to the state championship game almost every season.
Hawkinson around the edge and turning the corner and using that speed, and then it's leveled. Big time hit there as turned around the corner, and Hawkinson ran into Mikey Bergeron, and he pops back up, but watch this hard hit on the Mill Valley sideline here by the safety man.
And Hawkinson sees him, but
doink.
Just running. Ooh, hate to see that, but you see his teammates come around, and you know, Bergeron does put on the big hit, but he doesn't try and show him up or showboat.
It's a 26-yard run, and again, that great speed by the quarterback, who now lines up in the slot, and McClure on the Wildcat running across midfield for a nice gain.
They may give Hawkinson a few plays out there, just kind of let him
maybe
regroup a little bit.
Get his bearings back.
Yeah, McClure's a guy that you can trust with the ball in his hands, and right there you see a big pickup of 5 yards.
That should be the final play of the third quarter. A big quarter for the 5A defending state champs as they grab a 2-touchdown lead as we head to the fourth quarter at 28-14 here in week 1 of the 2021 Kansas high school football season. You're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. The Game of the Week is brought to you by Hy-Vee. They're proud to support Kansas City high school athletics. That's a look at the visiting bleachers, and all full of Mill Valley fans loving that third quarter as they've grabbed a 2-touchdown lead. Now 2nd down and 5. Again, it's McClure on the Wildcat. And he'll kind of spin his way for a nice gain. It'll be 3rd down and short. McClure, mentioned that he's a very good baseball player. Wants to play college baseball. Seen him throw a touchdown pass in this ball game as he'll remain in at quarterback. 3rd down and 2, just across midfield. Low snap. McClure not gonna, well, second effort. Rutkowski had him. He broke that.
he's going to
Yeah,
be.
he's going to be short. It'll be 4th down, and he's going to still need about 2.5, 3 yards as Rutkowski.
And Truman Griffin as well. He was in the backfield, and he's had a heck of a second half here.
When he had the fumble cause and then a fumble recovery.
Result of the play, 4th and 3.
Now it'll be 4th down and 3. Fans into it on the home side. Hawkinson in the ball game. And got whistles prior to the snap.
Like the offensive lineman moved again just a little bit too early. And anytime you're in those 4th and short situations, you know, you're on the balls of your feet, and sometimes it's hard to sit in that stance. Again, this is going to be a costly penalty for Gardner.
Huge penalty.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So 4th and 3 turns into 4th and 8.
Looks like they're going to keep the offense out on the
Yeah.
field.
Well, everybody goes for it now.
We've only seen one punt by Gardner Edgerton,
yeah,
right? So
once the math guys got involved and said you need to go for it on 4th down more.
I think that was Bill Belichick's guy.
Yeah.
That came up with that formula.
Yep, down in Arkansas. And 4th down and 8 now.
Flag on the play.
Another flag down prior to the snap. Do we get a timeout? Or
Encouragement, defense number 44. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Schaefer with an encroachment penalty, so they give it right back. And that hurts.
4th and 3.
Back to 4th and 3. Back to the 47-yard line. Now the ball goes through the quarterback's hands, and Hawkinson will just dive on it inside the 35. And, well, we've seen the
Turnover on downs.
center quarterback exchange really hurt Gardner Edgerton a couple of times tonight, and this one's a biggie.
And the snap just goes through Hawkinson's hands. Maybe he's just looking downfield a little bit too soon. Again, you see Gardner Edgerton just kind of shooting themselves in the foot. You know, these are teaching moments for Coach Owen and this football team, and you know, you're going to have to learn from your mistakes.
Kennedy running off the right side. Blazek making the stop.
Your biggest adjustments are made from week 1 to week 2, so it's something they'll definitely focus on working towards the rest of the season. But
Now Kennedy staying down after that run and looks to be in a great deal of pain.
Hogan Blasick, teaming up for the tackle. Injury timeout.
What's going on in that exciting game down the road in Lawrence, Kansas there with the
7-0.
Woo!
KU scored
what
with
an
about
offensive masterpiece going
10
on.
seconds to go in the first half, but KU fans have to be excited. Their new quarterback, the touchdown pass.
Looks like at the end of the play, Mr. Cramps come in, and we see this a lot in the fourth quarter of games as they're going to try to work that calf cramp out.
Yeah, going back to the miscues for Gardner, it's things that are correctable. So it's going to be a hard film session tomorrow. It's going to be a hard week of practice, but I think this team understands that you're going to have to put yourself in better positions to win. And you saw it early in the first drive, bad snap. Same drive, the muff punt. Quarterback, running back exchange. Another miscue on the snap, and it's just those are very correctable things. So you don't want to get down on your kids. It's week one. You're playing a really good team. They've taken advantage of that, but you can also talk about to your guys that they play a clean football game, and This game still might be.
Second down and 5. Jay calls his own number, takes it into the end zone. Touchdown. Great quarterback read option that goes for 28 yards and may ice this ball game as Hayden Jay scores his second rushing touchdown on the night. Great blocking on the edge. And Jay takes it 28. And now his team up big here in the fourth quarter at 34-14 with the PAT pending.
This Mill Valley offensive line, they're doing a good job this second half. Remember, it's all going to start up front with this team, and they like to run the football. A little extracurricular activity after the PAT, maybe a little frustration there. But we know this Mill Valley team wants to be physical. They want to run the football. You see these big boys up front.
Great block by Jack Melvin, the guard there, just to spring his quarterback. And Jay shows off the speed. These guys, both these quarterbacks, you don't see a lot of speed oozing out of them, but once they get in the open field, they can really turn it on as you see some frustrations. Yeah, but
takedown.
After the play was over, we had personal fouls offsetting. This way, personal foul this way. They're going to offset.
All right, offsetting Rutkowski there, and for the Mill Valley side, and then
just took 2 plays on that scoring drive. Again, the Gardner Edgerton turnover gives that Mill Valley offense good field position, and like we've talked about all night, they have not missed one of those opportunities to put that ball in the end zone starting on that side of the field. So
the other penalty was on Dawson Williams with the wrestling moves there, as Hawkinson, the sophomore, the good first half, second half a little bit different. Mill Valley really has turned it on as you take a look at the Hy-Vee scoring by quarters. The big third quarter by the defending state champs.
Remember, that third quarter started off with Mill Valley fumbling the football in the first play, so not only were they down, they also gave Gardner Edgerton kind of a golden opportunity to maybe take a 2-score game, or at least force Mill Valley in bad field position, but it's gone anything but that way for Gardner Edgerton this second half.
Fans still into it. The game day experience here is second to none as this ball is muffed. And then you see a short return to the 30-yard line. And a number of years ago, Marvin Diener was here, and I attribute a lot of this game day experience to him. He really brought a lot of that flair and passion, and of course he had maybe one of the greatest athletes to ever come through Gardner Edgerton, and Bubba Starling, the Royals outfielder. So, but I think he really got the ball rolling coming over from Salina Central, and getting people excited about football in this sports crazy town.
Yeah, and you see the facilities here.
Oh, yeah.
Every
state of the art.
Is state of the art. And when you look across the parking lot, and the school is pretty cool as well.
Fake a pitch, roll right. Hawkinson throwing down the field to Anderson, going to be intercepted. Pass came up short, and intercepting it for the Mill Valley squad is Jamison Fisher. Boy, Coach Appleby playing a lot of guys in the secondary tonight.
Yeah,
Fisher, I think that's his first action maybe.
And you see Hawkinson here just not able to get his feet underneath. Doesn't get that ball down the field quite enough. Looked like his receiver had a step, but Fisher does a good job of playing the ball. Anytime that ball kind of floats a little bit, those good defensive backs are going to make a play, and you see right there, another turnover for Gardner Edgerton.
That's 3, all coming in the second half. And there's Baker, the sophomore speedster with a couple of yards, and now you know the Mill Valley plan is to keep running the football and keep that clock running as they're looking to go to 1-0, and Coach Appleby is approaching 100 wins in his career. He's got the 4 state titles. But next week is the 41 Bowl, and I say that because they will host Olathe South. It's the 41 Sports Bowl because Haley Lewis, who works with Mick Schaefer, who is Aiden Schaefer's dad. Haley Lewis's father, Craig Lewis, is the Olathe South football coach. So there'll probably be some, a pop on the line in the 41 Sports newsroom there between Haley Lewis and Mick Schaefer. Maybe, I don't know.
Just a friend.
Well, it's one of those games. Next Friday night is now Baker is a little shaken up, and we'll get an official's timeout. Coach Appleby from Russell, Kansas. 12th year in his mid-40s, and won state titles in 15 and 16, and now 19 and 20, and just built a dynasty there in 5A at Mill Valley. On 3rd down and 8, fading and firing. The receiver is wide open, and he'll turn up the field. Caught near the 10-yard line is Blake Boatwright. And Boatwright did not have any coverage on him, and I think it shocked him a little bit. I caught it. Where nobody's going to hit me. Sure. The officials are huddling. Is there a flag down here? Yes, a flag is down, and it may be coming back.
Holding, offense number 28. 10-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Let's see if we can see it. Check the right side of the screen.
You just got to get those hands inside the chest plate there, especially when the quarterback's rolling to that side. It's kind of magnified the block right in front of the quarterback. And
well, we'll move it back with the penalty yardage. Now we'll move it back inside the 25-yard line. This is 3rd and a country 1.5 miles. This is 3rd and 26 for Coach Appleby's team. Probably you see him gesturing there saying we need to keep the clock running. That's what we want to do, is keep that clock running. Keep the clock running and go to 1-0. And now Coach Appleby is going to talk to the honoree tonight, Gary Bramer. Gives us time to mention that a very significant game for Gardner Edgerton next week. As for Jesse Owen, he's got to go at Olathe North, and that's his old team. So both these teams in week 2 have some
tough way to start your coaching.
Yeah, there you go.
Gardner Edgerton.
You got Gene Weir on the sidelines in week 1. Then you got to take on Coach McCartney and then your old team, the Eagles. What do we have here? Meeting of the stripes on the field. Is this a hydration break?
Timeout.
Okay, official timeout. No, for this one is charged to Mill Valley. Okay. I was told through the email world that hydration breaks were not going to be a mandatory thing. They'll kind of play it by ear, and see guys starting to cramp up a bit here in the 4th quarter, so I thought they might have taken one, but instead Mill Valley takes the timeout.
Did you guys have them last week?
Yes. Yes, we did. On the Missouri side, I understand there's some storms, though, in the metro area. We're a little bit south, down I-35, south of Olathe. We saw a little bit of rain early on, but not too bad as far as the weather goes. Now 3rd down and 26. And they'll keep it on the ground and just want to keep the clock running here as the inside run will not get him the necessary first down yardage as Baker is shut down. It'll be 4th down and long. Well, we've seen Jay, as the quarterback, is a very good punter. We've seen him send one down the field at 52. Seen him over 40, so he uses that kind of Australian style, running to the edge and just sending it down the field. Gardner Edgerton thinks he's going to punt it. They have a solo safety back near the 30 to return this, and now Jay does backpedal a little bit and send it down the field. This is probably his weakest punt. Fair catch called for and taken in by McClure at the 41-yard line. 33 yards on the punt. No return, and just over 7 and some change left. And you're down by 3 touchdowns. Gardner Edgerton, though, just second half mistakes. I mean, penalties, 3 turnovers, bad snaps. They will kill you. And when you talk to coaches about these week 1 games, it's just, you know, we can't make mistakes that kill our game. And what's happened?
Yeah, it's a pretty clean first half, other than the muff punt that was turnover on downs. We didn't have any turnovers, and I saw them all pile up there in that 3rd, 4th quarter.
Jet sweep, Anderson turning it up the field. And he'll get a gain of 2 on the play. Massey there to make the stop, and also Bergeron. Second down and 8. And now you want to see the up-tempo or tempo football. There are a lot of analytics talk about, and let's play fast. Let's get a bunch of snaps in. Play action, quarterback going down. Big time sack up the middle, and Rutkowski delivers.
It looked like he just came through untouched, and Hawkinson really didn't have a chance there. And Rutkowski just beats his man up front. We've kind of seen this defensive line come alive for Mill Valley in the second half.
Expect big things from Rutkowski in his junior year. He saw a little time as a sophomore, and Coach Appleby was excited for number 52 in his junior year. Quarterback going to take off and run, not much doing, as he'll get to near the 36 for a gain of 2. Seib there, Cole Seib, one of the seniors. And now a second quarterback is shaken up, may have cramps. We've seen a lot of players cramping up in the 4th quarter, and they've been doing that kind of dance to the sideline. Tippy-toeing to the sideline means the calves are cramping up. And the punting unit coming out, Will Schuler in punt formation. Bergeron and Massey back. This will be Massey with a fair catch, and he muffs it and goes back and gets it. As Joel Appleby's heart skips a beat there for a second there.
Fortunate for that ball to bounce basically right back into your hands.
Yeah, Dylan Massey.
Anytime you're fielding that ball working backwards, it makes for a tough angle.
Well, Mill Valley was, struggling there, and coming into the 3rd quarter, they coughed up the football, but they got the offense cranked up, taking advantage of some turnovers, and the defending champs looking like the 2-time defending champs here in the second half.
Yeah, when you give opportunities like that to a team like Mill Valley, they're going to put points on the board, and that's exactly what they've done. Getting the ball to their playmakers' hands, and we've seen numerous guys on the offensive side for Mill Valley touch or catch the ball.
Baker, a run off the left side for 4 yards. Another quarterback is warming up on the Gardner Edgerton sideline. That is Gunner Kyle. So maybe Hawkinson is shaken up, and well, maybe he's got the cramps. I've seen guys leave the game with cramping problems. This running play is
blown up.
Yeah, nice play there as surging in and making a nice Gardner Edgerton defensive stop was Theron Mead, as now we have a player down for the Jags, and that is the ball carrier who took that tremendous hit from number 22. That is the sophomore running back.
We just hope that he got
Kristen
the wind
Baker,
knocked out
yeah.
of him.
Kind of lifting up the shoulder pads here. Watch the big hit from 22. Wham! Right there.
Almost like he was blocked into him a little bit.
Well, he was standing on the edge, and yeah, hopefully he's just got the wind knocked out of him. You saw them kind of lifting up the shoulder pads to give his lungs some room to breathe there, and he's walking off under his own power.
Kind of signaling that he's good.
Yeah, he gives the coaches, yeah, I'm good. Coach Weir checks with him as he had a short rushing touchdown in the second half. Third down and still 7 facing the Jaguars as they continue to milk the play clock down and snap it with single digits on it. Little things in football as Reese Kennedy subbing in for the injured Baker and did not get the first down. It'll be 4th down and probably see another J punt. 4th down and 5 as McClure goes back to retrieve this punt for Gardner Edgerton. The big question, I'm sure Coach Appleby has probably been sick of hearing in the offseason. When you won 2 in a row, everybody wants you to three-peat.
Ball start. Offense. Number 14. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
But his refrain is always improve each game, and doesn't get mad when you ask it. Just not going to be something he worries about. Try to improve each game and let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully they'll be back in the 5A championship looking for that three-peat. There's plenty of good teams out there ready to trip them up, and they definitely have a target on them.
Yeah, when it's St. Thomas Aquinas,
oh yeah,
they battle it out every year in that quarterfinal game to see who's going to make it from this side of the state line.
And we get a timeout for Mill Valley. Yeah, it's never easy. Last year, you know, when they just destroyed Derby in week 1, I was like, what the heck is going on here? That was a 6A team, a state champion, won 26 in a row, and they just punished his cousin's team. What happened was they played that Bentonville, Arkansas team in week 3. They got some injuries, and then maybe they underestimated. They were a little injury riddled. Got beat by Gardner Edgerton. They didn't lose after that. They were a powerhouse team, and we did that game down in Pittsburgh. And
well, the expectation every year for this program is to make it to that state championship game. He's done such a great job of building the culture. It's almost like this program's driven by these players.
Jay with the punt. McClure coming up and muffs it. Ball still alive. McClure gets on it inside the 40-yard line. Well,
looks like Hawkinson will be back out there.
Well, that's a good sign, but here's an adventure in punt returns.
Yeah, great job of fighting through. Mill Valley defenders covered that ball.
He stayed with it and got it. Lost about 12 yards trying to chase that pigskin down. As jet sweep. Good blocking on the near side and a nice run. He's into the ball game now is Kyle Oatman, junior wide receiver, showing some good speed around the edge.
Good job on the outside on the blocking, and Oatman really doesn't even break stride, just continues right up that sideline. Big pickup there on first down.
Yeah, nice 17-yard gain. Getting some early action in this ball game. This running play is blown up. A new running back in the ball game for Gardner Edgerton is Dylan Butash. Now, his older brother normally is the starter, Tyler Butash, but he's out with a knee injury. Suffered this summer from July. They hope to have him back in a couple of weeks. His older brother was all Sunflower League. So this is his little brother, a sophomore, 170 pounds. And here is Butash. Grabbed on the play by Evan Seifert in there.
Number 90, Pino Martinez making the tackle. 3rd and 10.
Third down and 10. And a scrimmage at the 45-yard line. Just over a minute to play in regulation. Butash up the middle. And a nice run near the first down, but looks to be just about a yard short, but took a hard hit, but kept on going. Nearly got the first down.
Yeah, good physical run right there.
Ooh,
Both
right
hands
there.
on the ball and just keeps his legs churning. Picks up those extra yards. See if Gardner Edgerton can't pick up this first down. Doesn't seem like they're going to try and stop the clock at all. So the last play of the game here.
Winding it down as the Mill Valley fans on the visiting side celebrating. And another victory as this play is shut down. It'll be ball over on downs. I believe it was Seifert again there. Mill Valley fans, boy, they do a good job there on their game day experience. And they came out in force tonight on the road. It's just a short trip down I-35, and Coach Owen will have to take on his old Olathe North Eagles next week and have to figure out what happened in the second half. 3 turnovers and some snap problems, but he was worried a little bit about some of the quarterback center exchanges as the victory formation is set up for Jay and Mill Valley as they will be 1-0 in 2021. So the defending state champs take it on the road after trailing at halftime 14-7. They dominate the second half as 28 unanswered, win it 35-14 at Gardner Edgerton. Hy-Vee postgame coming up next. Sportsmanship celebration at midfield as Mill Valley 1-0 on the year as they get the road victory, number 9 in our Super 25. Looking a little shaky at halftime. I'll be honest with you. They're down 14-7, but the champs just too strong in the second half.
Yeah, and they just took took care of business. So he took the miscues that the Gardner Edgerton had, and put points on the board. And that's what a good football team's going to do. Still a lot of things to clean up on that side of the ball, but after week 1, I think you're happy with where you're at. As far as Gardner Edgerton, obviously there's a lot of good teaching points that can be made from this game. We'll see if next week they can't come back, clean some of those things up.
Special thanks to our school's ADs, Scott Peavy and Brent Betchard. And thanks to our coaches, Jesse Owen and Joel Appleby. Our producer's been Joe Novacek. For Johnny Beck and our entire Spectrum Sports broadcasting crew, Kevin White saying so long from the USD 231 Activity Complex. Our final once again. The two-time defending state champs dominate the second half, win 35-14 as we say goodnight from Gardner, Kansas.